Hi, welcome to Integrative Preparedness. I am Steve Smith. I got a comment from a viewer who is also a reader of my books. Apparently, as a very nice, seemed like a nice guy that wanted to make a point with me about something. He said something to the effect. I won't get this exactly right, and I don't remember the name of exactly who it was. He said, "Mr. Smith, something to the effect, I enjoy your books very much. However, I don't watch a lot of your videos because it seems to take you 25 minutes to get out 10 minutes of content." Well, that reminds me kind of what my kids tell me sometimes. And to which I tell them, well, I'm glad that you got the 10 minutes. I'm sorry that you missed the other 15 because I said it for a reason. And you might have got something out of that if you knew what I was getting at. And it also reminds me of when Kelly and I started dating and then got married, when she'd asked me something. And I don't think that she was used to people who gave long, drawn out, I would say simply complete answers to questions. And after a couple of minutes, I'd see her eyes starting to glaze over, and she'd say, just give me the Cliff Notes answer. And she warns people about that with me. Even now, she says, if you ask them a question, ask them for the short answer. Well, here's the thing. Sometimes there's not a short answer. Maybe it's the danger that you get into of listening to a writer talk, because I'm used to writing out everything and giving the explanations and and such. A friend of mine who here I'm going off on a tangent, I see, so I won't. I'll bring myself back and I won't do that. But I do have a tendency to say, to kind of try to answer the question completely. I figure that if somebody has taken the time to ask me a question, then they deserve the time that it takes for me to try to answer it. And sometimes it takes more than just a simple response. So often if you just get a quick answer, it's not really an answer. It's just a response to a question. And if it's not complete, then of course it starts with, well, why did such and such? And then you have answered that kind of, uh, in a short way. Well, then why this and well, why that? Well, I kind of try to cut out all the whys, so that when I'm done explaining, uh, I feel like I've given the answer and I've covered other things that either support it or kind of or are ancillary to it. So anyway, um, believe it or not, I'm going to cut this off real here in just a second, in just a minute, to honor that person who says that I've drone on far too long. But I am going to make a point on this as it has to do with preparedness. And that is too often, far too often, people ask questions uh, that really uh, call for extended, in depth answers, and far too often they don't want those in depth answers. A lot of people kind of play around on the surface of these things, and that's why. And if you do that, you're not going to be prepared. You're not going to get the full lesson. You're not going to get the full answer. Anything that's worth doing is worth doing well, as they say, and that means getting down deep. So I have to admit, I do get down kind of deep, and sometimes it seems like I'm going off on a tangent, but I think usually I have points to all those little side trips that I take if you really want to listen and kind of see where I'm going with it. So anyway, that's the thing. There's no um, short answer to preparedness. That's the point here. There's no short answer. If you get into it, be ready to get into it deep and get into it for the long haul, because otherwise you're just playing. And don't play. Your life is too important just to play around with, right? Okay. All right. I'll let you go with that and try to make this short, right? So remember that we prepare well. My wife is back there applauding. She heard me say I'm going to keep this short, and she's going, yay. Remember that we prepare well today in order to live well tomorrow. And preparedness is not something you do with a short response. It's something you do with an in-depth answer. You all have a good day. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.